Good evening, everyone. Welcome to SIM Online Masterclass series. This is our sixth season, and we are lining up our upcoming weeks for more talks on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Do note that this session will be recorded and it will be uploaded to our official YouTube channel for viewing within 1 month. Today's topic is how technology has revolutionized service delivery. Just a few ground rules before I introduce our speakers for today. For better audio purposes, we have put everyone on mute throughout the session. If you have any questions along the way, please feel free to type in your questions. You may also use the reaction button to give our speaker support. Our speaker for today, Mr. Ahmad Bhatti, is an assistant professor in the Department of Management at Birmingham Business School. He joined Birmingham Business School in June 2018 and has held many different roles since then. Currently, he is the Program Director for Master of Science in Management. Mr. Ahmad is also a fellow of Higher Education Academy and specializes in teaching topics related to procurement and operation management. So without further ado, let us welcome Mr. Ahmad. Ahmad, over to you.
Thank you, Chuan, and good evening, everyone. Wherever you have dialed in, it is a pleasure to see you joining this class. Hopefully, when we go through this session, you will enjoy it and you will learn something from it. It is good to see so many of you around. This is going to be a bit of interactive session. Like Chuan said, we can't allow the mics to be unmuted, but we expect that people will type in the chat box if they got any question, or when I ask you to contribute to the session, you will be typing in the chat box. Like John said, my name is Ahmad Bhatti. By the way, I've got multiple displays. So when I'm looking there, it's not that I don't like you guys. I've got multiple displays and the presentation is on another display. So I will be looking away for you guys, but I'm still paying attention to all of you. My name is Ahmad Bhatti. I am, like John said, I am a program director for MSc Management in Singapore, and I also take care of the admission sides of it. You have got my email address on this slide, which I'm sure you are able to see. Feel free to drop me an email after the session. If you have got any question or anything to add to what we talk about in this session, feel free to drop me an email. I'll be more than happy to answer any question you have in mind or anything we discuss around this topic. Chuan has already started recording, so we're not going to worry about that. The way this masterclass is going to run, it's got a distinct two parts. So we're going to be doing the class actual taster session in the first hour. Then we're going to have 5 minutes break. And then we will talk about the actual program. So it is 1.5 hour session in total. So first part is taster session, and the second part is we'll be talking about actual program. The way I run taster sessions, we have to have some objectives why we are here on this evening and wasting our time. The thing is that briefly I'll take you through familiarizing the program structure. I'm not going to go much in depth at this stage because we have dedicated session towards the end of this session. But more importantly, we're going to start thinking about, or it is my job to make you understand impact of digital technology in service provision. And we will talk more about it as we go through. How are we going to achieve it? We are all here. We are all present. So I will briefly go through the key features of the program, very, very briefly. Brief structure of the program, just to give you an idea where this topic links in your MSc management. But very quickly, I will move on to the actual topic, the impact of digital technology on service provision. We will have discussion. I hope you will contribute. This is what I'm hoping. And before we check out from this session, this is the whole point. These are the points which we'll go through. Learning outcomes, obviously, when we run the session, I will tell you what we tried to do in this session and what are the learning outcomes of this session. By the way, if during the session, if you have any question, feel free to raise your hand. I know you will have to type in the chat box, but you can stop me anytime you want to stop me, that's absolutely fine. I don't mind that. Key features of the program. You have very briefly, I'm going to go through some bullet points, and then we're going to go a little bit more in detail when we run the second part of this session. We aim to deliver MSc management, and we claim that it is research informed teaching. Not only that, you will be taught by professors from Russell Group University in the UK. We also aim that we will fly out every single professor who will be teaching you on this program to Singapore, and it will be face-to-face teaching by the UK staff. So no local staff will be involved in delivering this MSc management. We also believe that in this MSc management, we will be giving you contemporary management knowledge. It sounds a bit complicated and a big word. What it means is the business world around us is changing, and because it's changing, we have to change our teaching and the way we teach as well. So in this new MSc management, you will know why it is new in a minute. We're gonna try to provide you contemporary management knowledge, so you are ready to actually work in businesses which are modern businesses, and you are future ready, as we call it. To achieve that, we will be giving you real world issues and real life cases when we deliver this program. You will have dedicated career support in business team, which is University of Birmingham Business School in UK. We have dedicated team who will be helping you with career when you go through this MSc and beyond that, when you finish it. The program is duly accredited. What it means is that when you complete this MSc management, you can actually, there's a body in UK, Chartered Management Institution, we call it CMI. So you can apply, because it's accredited by that body, you can apply for level 7 qualification in strategic management and leadership, and you can get that without paying anything or without attending any classes. There will be a skill passport which will be offered in this program as well. And I put some kind of workshops here, but I'm going to go a little bit more in detail when we talk about the program. So I'm not going to kind of touch it at this point in time. This is what MSc management looks like. So you have 6 modules, and you will have to do dissertation, which is 60 credit dissertation. And the reason I have put many modules here is because it is important for you to understand the topic which we're gonna cover today. It links to organizational decision making and operations management module. More specifically, it relates to the operations management side of things, not organizational decision making, which is a bit financial side of things. So it links to operation management side, and in operation management side, we look at the service delivery or service provision, as we call it in operations management. So this is where it links. We're going to get on to the actual topic. The topic itself is around the themes in operations management. If you don't understand it, doesn't matter, because you will learn when you join the program. It integrates with supply chain management, operations management, scale of demand, process technology, and strategic management within operations management. So this is where this topic will link in. So what this topic is all about. I was in Dubai. I was teaching there for 2 weeks, and I was flying back, and I went to the airport. And now we can see at the airport, this is Dubai airport, and that a lot of people now, they are expected to check in themselves with use of technology. So people are disappearing from your checkouts, from your retail checkouts, or when you go to shops, people are disappearing, machines aren't taken over. So technology is coming more and more into service provision, as we call it, changing the whole face of service. So by the way, you can see on the slides, I have put the links at the bottom. So if you are more interested in these stories, you can always link. I'm sure the team at SIM, they can share the slides later on, or if you watch the video, you can go to the links. Similarly, I went to Cambridge in UK a month ago to visit my friend, and I seen these things along the footpaths going around. And I got interested in them because they are now using robots to deliver groceries to people. It's quite a strange idea or a complicated idea, but this is where the word is going in terms of service delivery. These robots are so clever that actually I was driving along the road, and a robot came on the road, and I thought that it will hurry up and cross the road to my expectation. But it was funny that the robot actually moved towards the car, looked at there was car coming on the road, and then robot moved back to the footpath rather than crossing the road in hurry. Now this is where the artificial intelligence and everything is going on, and we're going to try to plug in that as in service delivery as well. So technology is rapidly developing, and actually when it is developing in operations management, we start to wonder, we start to argue that the product or outcome, which is a key part in operations management, that has to change as well. The customer experience is changing. As an operation, people are able to save cost. But more importantly, we think that technology is changing the way services are delivered. We can't forget about pandemic. We've been through it. I know we don't want to talk about it, but still there are aftermaths of pandemic. COVID-19 actually, a lot of firms, businesses, hospitality sector, they started using disinfecting robots because they thought that they were safer and they were efficient to clean the surfaces and everything. So robots came in as a result of pandemic in terms of delivering service, which is a cleaning service for hospitality sector and other sectors as well. Not only that, we can walk into Marks and Spencer's now, where you can scan barcode on products. Again, use of technology in service. We can scan a barcode and we can pay through our mobile and we can walk out of the store. Another interesting example is Amazon Go. I don't know whether you are aware of that or not, but in London and New York, Amazon has actually built a store, physical store, which they call Amazon Go. And the whole idea is that people, because they are logged on to Amazon account on their mobile devices, they can go in this shop, they will pick anything, and without scanning anything, they can walk out of the store and the payment will be taken from their Amazon account. So this is what technology is doing to service provision. Again, if you are interested, feel free to have a look, go on websites, Google, and find out how these things are changing everything. For operations, it's a very good news. It's a very good news because it is making it cheaper. People are expensive. We have to pay them salaries. Technology is cheaper. There is one-time investment. We're going to talk about all those slight factors in a brief way, but it is making it cheaper, more effective. We can argue safer because it is more reliable for operations. Machines and technologies, they don't make errors as much as human can. So we say it's a reliable for operation. So what do we do with it? Unfortunately, I'm going to bring a bit of theory here. And this is one of the model which we give you in operations management. We call it performance objective polar model or polar diagram. Some authors call it spider diagram, doesn't matter. You will learn about it when you do the module. So basically you have different performance objectives in operations, which you measure and you see how your operation is performing. So you have cost, dependability, flexibility, quality, and speed. These are the 5 performance objectives which you will learn more about when you do operations management. But what you can see from this diagram, that you have market requirement for our operation to perform in a certain way. And this, the red dotted line, where hopefully you can see my cursor, is the actual operation, how it is performing. It's a very, very important and good diagram, because we can see, okay, how technology can change this diagram, and how operations, they are able to measure the performance if the technology comes in service delivery. Okay, so I'm going to use the same diagram, and Jamie, we will come back to your questions. We're going to cover all that, by the way, because we're not going to say everything is good and good. We're going to do the critique as well. So if we think about technology, look at the 5 performance objectives. For example, cost. We know if we use technology, it will be cheaper. Cheaper in the sense that we can use our mobile phone, contactless payment and all that. Operations don't have to spend too much money. In terms of dependability, it is more reliable operation, because technology with speech recognition, quality, dependability, it will be better if we use technology. It will be safer to use robots for inspecting buildings if there is a earthquake or there is a threat of bomb and all that. I think probably I need to stop here. This is a hypothetical dotted line that technology actually can make operation more efficient. And I'm going through each of the factors, Zayar and Jamie. We're going to come back to ethics in a minute, Jamie, so I'm not answering your full question yet. But it is hypothetically created diagram where we're saying that by using technology, we can have impact on performance of a typical operation, ZR. Do I answer your question? You need to say yes or no very, very quickly so I can move on. I can't keep going if people are not getting my point. Okay, brilliant, Jamie. I'm still waiting for ZR to say something. In terms of flexibility, you can see that if we're using technology, it will become more flexible. And I'm going to give you some examples as we go along. Quality, because like I said, using technology will create less errors in operations. Quality will be better for operations. And speed, drones delivering your products. We know, well, here I put, medical supplies, but we know Amazon is launching a service where they are promising, well, in London, they are doing it. I don't know about Singapore, that if you order anything on Amazon, it will be delivered to your back garden within an hour. And they are using drones to deliver their products. So their speed increasing because of technology. So this is how technology is actually making operation cheaper, more effective, to deliver a reliable service to our potential customer. Okay, but we're not going to stop here. We're now going to start thinking about what about the customer experience. We all know if we go to McDonald's, we can use these kiosks now where we can order our food. We can customize it. We can choose whether we want ice in our drinks or not, whether we want sauces to be put in our burgers or not. So we can customize stuff using technology for the operation, which is McDonald's in this case. Similarly, in China, they have gone to another level where they have got a KFC, which they have launched, that hasn't got any human at all. It's fully run by robots, and they will take your order. They will prepare your order, and they'll give your order to you. So they're using fully robot. So on the right-hand side is a kind of KFC thing. There's McDonald's in China, which is using robots. So this is where the technology is taking us. So what about customer experience? How far you can actually let technology take this service experience? This is where the ethics is going to come in. This is where the actual customer experience is going to come in, because end of the day, we are human, we have emotions, and how do we take that technology as a customer experience? This is where we're going to lead the discussion to now. The future of technology, probably in future, if you are patient, your medical supplies will be delivered by robots. You have now human-centered robotics, where robots are able to interact more like humans with you. So a lot of services will be replaced by that. Now I put 3 questions here, and I'm going to take a little bit of pause because it's not the intention that I'll be talking for an hour. Do you think this is exciting? Do you think this is scary? Or do you think this is confusion of terminology, basically? What do people think? I've given you a little bit of background of how technology is changing the service. So please type in, do you think this is scary, exciting, or it's a confusion? Okay, we got one exciting, we got one scary from Harish. Okay, 2 scary, both. Sorry if I can't pronounce your name properly. I apologize, but I think it's Uniati is saying both, or Uniati, if I'm going to Chinese pronunciation. Due to speed of evolution, Jamie is saying it is scary. Okay, let's take it forward and see whether it is scary or not. We have to start thinking based on what you guys are saying. Now we're going to critique it. We're not going to say everything positive about this whole thing. We're going to critique it, right? This is the whole point of social sciences and MSc management. Is technology actually lowering or increasing the importance of service? So if we go to a hotel for check-in, do we want to see people at check-in receptions where people are able to say, hello, how was your journey? How was your travel? And they check you in, or whether we like to talk to a robot, which may be able to say hello and things of, okay, Preta is saying confusion of technology. Ziar is saying confusion. I'm reading your messages as well on the side. There are two views which are given by authors, okay? And I'm going to present those 2 views. One is a demographic view, where people think that, okay, younger people are more open to technology than the older ones. These authors, they argue that, okay, it's not my opinion. Because young people, they are born with technology. This is not wrong, because the generation we are dealing with, you get iPad or you get your digital devices when you're 3, 4, 5-year old, and you start watching videos on it. So you are more prone to adopting technology. So there is a demographic view on adoption of technology, whereas there is a differentiation view as well. So it's not only based on age, whether you're younger or older. There are authors which argue that actually we have to take differentiation view on use of technology in service provision. What does that mean? It means that probably people will replace, or people will continue to serve other customers, where the services are premium, or they are of different nature. For example, if you have a wedding ceremony, you don't like to have robots delivering that ceremony. Probably you would like to have a bit of human touch. I'm hoping you will. I don't know. Probably you are all young people and you get more excited about technology. Similarly, the bereavement service, first class check-in. So this is where these services will be called premium services, and this is where we will need actual human touch. For other services, these are argued by authors. So like I said, it's not my personal opinion. Where normal services, the basic services, technology will take over, and probably we will not need people to deliver those services. So service people, you have to ask yourself question, if they are delivering premium services, or they are delivering a nature of services which we can't deliver by robots or technology, do you think that actually we are empowering them more as a service people? What do people think? Do we have to give them more discretion, more empowerment, or they will become more expensive? People will become more expensive who are delivering service. You need to keep typing in, guys. It's not that you're listening to me. You need to contribute to this whole discussion because I like to hear from young people like you. Do you think people will become more expensive to deliver service? Or you think, no, that's not right? Keep typing in. I'm paying attention to the chat box. You need to be quick because we also need to move on. I'm conscious of time. Anyone? If people are only delivering premium services, people more replaceable. Maybe, Harish, can you go a little bit further? Less value. Okay, Joseph is putting it as a question mark, depends on the automation that is employed. Okay, I understand that worth more per head count. Sean is saying, okay, good. Keep going. This is the whole point. This is a kind of thought-provoking session rather than me giving you answers. Probably less value. Jamie, why you think that? Extend it further. I will keep an eye, Jamie, and see what you come up with. Extend your argument a little bit further. We're gonna keep moving on. I'm gonna take this critical discussion a little bit further. You have to start thinking technology is an enabler of ultimate future service experience, okay? This is what you are talking about. Actually, in your answers, this is what you're talking about. But the problem we get as operation, because if technology is going to replace the service delivery, we have to be ready for it. Okay. It doesn't mean that we can design a service. If we can design a service, it will last forever. We will have to redesign our service more and more as we go along because technology is evolving, like some of you are telling me in the chat box. Not only that, you also, as operations manager, you also need to think about that technology doesn't come free, right? So whenever you are employing technology, you have to see the feasibility, whether the technology can replace people. And the second thing, which is much more important to us as operations manager, is cost, because it's going to cost us. Okay. Ziar has put a very good comment. You can read it. I'm reading it as well. Okay, we're going to get to chat GPT slightly. Ziar, this is not chat GPT session, but it's a very, very hot topic nowadays. Do we need to recognize customer expectations and perceptions? Because they are going to change quicker. The idea which I'm now putting in your head is, not only that we have to adopt technology as operation, our audience, our customers are also changing. What if the competitors, they try to employ technology and the consumer perception about receiving a service, it will change as a result. And we as operation will not have any choice. So we need to be careful. We need to be actually considering that the customer perceptions, they can change very, very quickly. We need to keep that in mind, okay? Or, this is a final point, I put a figure on side, or are we overhyping it? Technology has been, it's been always around. For example, when the wheel was invented, people people hated it, and they said, this is not something which can actually, which can exist in this world we are living in. Are we overhyping it? Technology has been already there. It's been around in some forms, one form or another, and we are overhyping this whole concept. I'm putting some question mark in your head so that you can start thinking about all these questions, so we can develop discussion when we come to the end of this session. Okay. I continue with critical considerations. And we go to our chatbot, another scenario which more or less all of us use it nowadays, where we see emails coming from companies which has got no reply, no phone numbers to contact that company to actually complain about if the service is not good enough. So basically, as operation, you are reducing your cost, but it raises question. How are you going to get feedback from your customer if you're saying that you can't reply to an email which we have sent you, or we're not going to give you any phone number which you can call if you don't like our service. Or companies are not interested to take feedback anymore. Again, something else you have to think about. Maybe it is not important at all. I don't have the answer. Depending upon certain sectors, probably certain businesses where companies are thinking that we are not interested. We got many budget businesses, right? Budget airlines. I think I was in Singapore teaching a month ago, and someone mentioned Lion Air is budget airline for you guys. We have Ryanair in Europe. We have other in Dubai and UAE. Flybe is another budget airline. Probably for budget businesses, they are not interested to get the feedback from their customer. And for luxury premium businesses, they will be interested in, and they will not use anything like that. We bring a little bit of theory again. We have to. What we argue on service recovery paradox, that actually if your service is going, which is a green dotted line, hopefully you can follow my cursor, there is a no service failure, then everything is good. Your customer will be loyal over time. Okay, but that's never going to happen. I can tell you from my personal experience, it's never going to happen. You're going to get service failure one way or other, even if this failure is just complaints from customer. So what authors argue, that if your routine service recovery, which you do routine basis, your loyalty of customer will drop. Actually, it will not be as good as no service failure. So you can see the customer loyalty will be on lower scale. But if we make effort to recover from service, then customer loyalty can increase. It will increase. These authors, they argue that, right? So it then actually raises a question that, okay, we can use technology in operation, but if we can't recover from failure or problems in our service, then what will happen to the customer loyalty? And don't forget, we are customers, right? You and me, we are all customers, and we can relate what will happen to customer loyalty. I'm going to take that chatbot thing a little further and share another personal experience which I had with chatbot. I had a problem with my bank. I went on website and I tried to find a number, and suddenly a pop-up came like they do nowadays. You can chat online, and it was a chatbot. We get that on Amazon as well now and then. So I started using that chatbot to get my issue or problem resolved, which I was facing with my online banking. And I think, I may be wrong, that I got that bot angry because I was putting stupid things in that to see whether chatbot will at some point give me an option to talk to someone or go and do something, or give me a phone number to call. So I was doing it on purpose. Joseph, you can, because I try to break service quite a lot. And I don't mind that, as far as you can take it from operation side, right? So does that mean that if people, I'm putting another question mark in your head, does that mean that if we put technology to provide service, we are actually allowing our customer to abuse the technology? Because you and me, hopefully, if we are all nice people, will be quite reluctant to abuse a real person, right? But it is very easy for us because we know on the other end, there is just a technology, we can abuse it. Can we or can we not? Keep putting, Joseph, great, Ziar, great. I need to see more and more of that. You know, if we put technology in, are we allowing our potential customers to abuse it? Keep putting your thoughts in. Brilliant, guys. I like that. That's genius. Oh, Ziar, you don't know some of the companies I deal with, probably where you live or what you do. You can do that. It is possible for many few, quite a few companies. Most of the companies, they, if you put human, they will say tough. You have to continue talking to us. We can take specific examples. I've got 50,000 in my head, but we'll leave that for MSc management when you join it. So actually it worked. I was put through having a go at chatbot. I was put through to a person, and then that person, human, was able to solve my problem. So now you have to start thinking me as a customer, and you can start thinking that actually I made use of technology. I abused that technology to actually get where I want to get, right? Like Ziar is saying, you type in human, don't waste your time, Ahmed. You type in human and you'll get to someone real person. But then what's the point of putting the technology in service, Ziar? How do we save cost? How do we argue that technology actually can replace customer services? Um, and that's where chat GPT comes in. I'm not going to give you a kind of lecture, or we can go on for the rest of the evening talking about chat GPT. Well, Ziar is talking about exactly the same thing. We are on the same page. I have put a link at the bottom where BBC is talking about that AI chatbot, which we call Chat GPT, is talking to humans, and it can make more meaningful conversations. It probably can change your the whole idea of customer service using technology. We yet have to see, and obviously we can explore it further in the classroom, but this is not the time where we explore that idea. But we can't ignore it. That is for sure. I've got Bing sitting next to me, where I am trying Chat GPT, and it's fascinating. It's fascinating what this thing can do. And where it will go, people are talking about this internet which we are using now, traditional internet, it's going to disappear, completely disappear. And Chat GPT is going to replace everything. Probably this is another big thing which will take over. I'm gonna kind of pause it here, and I'm gonna get, it's not that you're gonna go and do the further reading now, but if you are interested in this topic, impact of technology on service provision, uh, I have put some journal articles which you can go and find and read more about them, how authors, how people who are actually working on this whole concept of technology in service provision, what do they think in terms of their positive points as well as their critique. And like one of you, I don't know the name, but I've seen it appearing in the chat box. We talked about customer emotions. Um, I think someone said, depends which mood I am in, something along those lines. Um, Customer emotions are the key when we talk about impact of technology in service provision. And again, I'm giving you a couple of readings. If you have time and you are interested in this topic, you can actually go and, using AI to track how customer feel. It's a really good read, to be honest. And 19 technologies of people tracking. I know that's scary as well, but this is the world we are living in. We can't deny it. Okay, so some literature which I put on a couple of slides. If you are interested, and you are interested in customer emotions, you can go and read that. I'm sure if you're interested in this topic, you will enjoy that. We're going to continue our discussion for next 10 minutes. And what do you think? And now I've given you some positive points. I've given you some critique. I've given you some premium services. What do we think? What impact technology will have on operation consideration in terms of service provision? Service provision is service delivery. We use the word provision as a terminology in operations management. So if we are thinking of delivering services using technology, what is your point of view after listening to me for last 20 or 25 minutes or half an hour? And do you think there will be any long-term implications if we bring technology to service operation? Over to you guys. Now I'll be paying total attention to the chat box. What do people think? You have to type in now. You don't have a choice. Now you can take out, vent out whatever came to your head, and I'll be paying attention to your chat. What do we think after listening to this talk? Come on, guys, you need to type in. I know this is evening. You probably had a long, tiring day. I don't want to pick on people. I know Joseph and Jamie and other people were, be right back. Why is they are? Where are you disappearing? BRB. Be right back, I think. I'm assuming that's what you're saying. Okay, people will seek more human-to-human interaction in replacing of AI responses. Okay, yeah, I get that. Clients are even angrier when they finally get to talk to. Yeah, sometimes it, well, if you haven't trained your staff properly to deliver the service, which happens a lot in operations nowadays, by the way, then people don't know what your problem is and how to solve that problem. The problem is agents are not able to solve your problem. You have to go a little bit back and start thinking about, have you trained them to solve the problem? That's the point. Invasion of privacy, stereotyping, profiling. Yes, but Danny, how much do we think that we have privacy intact at the moment? Again, I can bring in my personal examples. I every morning I've got Android phone, Google phone. Every morning I drop my son off at school in the morning, and then I go to work. And if I decide I'm not going to go to work any day, it's not that I can decide that if I don't have any meeting, I don't go to work. Google will prompt, it's time to go to work. How much privacy we have now, Danny? That's the question for you. We are carrying devices with us. They know everything. Service recovery may be even more difficult. G, you wanna talk a little bit more about it? Any specific idea, any specific example? Because that will make us understand where you're coming from. Jamie is saying, human are getting from bad to worse. Yes, Jamie, because we don't train them. We don't have time, money, and resources to train them. We hire people, we put them in front of customers, and we hope they will be able to solve problems. That's the problem, in my opinion. I may be wrong, Jamie. You can challenge me. A lot about service recovery is about flexibility. With AI, there is more, it's more rigid. Okay, what makes you think that? Okay. Gerald, I think you need to start thinking about machine learning. In that idea, if you go to that subject area, machine learning and all that, now robots, neurosciences are getting into robots. It's not pure coding. Gerald, you can start thinking about that and you will get more answers. Technology may be able to solve simpler customer issues even with Chat GPT, with AI. Do you think machine learning will sort out the issue? Harish, I don't know. We have to see. If I'm not around, you tell me. You're going to be around for a long, long time. But I'm sure I'm going to see it. It is taken another level. Again, I can share many, many examples, which I've got in my head, but probably we don't have time for that. Harish, I was doing an IBM course on machine learning during COVID, and they were actually doing a case study on insurance services. They were putting all the details in the system, IBM, whatever they call it. I forgot the actual terminology for it. And then this machine learning was taking place, and it was very accurately was able to forecast which person is actually will be able to make fraud claim on insurance. That was through machine learning. This is how far it is going. Okay, Jason, I feel when the customer have issue, they want to solve it ASAP. Sometimes it's possible, sometimes it's not possible. By putting them through technology with different buttons to click, because well, are we still be clicking buttons, G, with AI and machine learning? I don't, I suppose you are all young people. Again, I give you my personal experience. I took my son to, I wanted him to learn how to use ATM machine. He's 16-year-old, right? So he's born in like 2006. So I took him to ATM machine to take the cash out. He went to the ATM machine and he started pressing on screen. I said, no, son, you have to press the buttons. He says, oh, that is old. You still have to press the buttons. Why is not touch screen, G? This is where we are going. And by the way, I notice all the time in classroom when we have a lecture for 1 hour and a half, and I say, okay, you have 15-minute breaks. What happens? Everyone will take their devices out and start going on devices. And I tell them, no, leave the classroom, go out, talk to people. No, they like to talk to virtual people. Uh, I'm sure you're all the same. I'm the same to some extent. I've got gray head, but I know where the word is going. Okay, Danny, I used to work on face recognition software for with AI. More than. Absolutely, Danny. We would like to hear more from you on that if we get you in class, because one thing which I really appreciate and encourage that students, they bring their own examples, because this is what the real learning experience is. ATM buttons. Yes, I was surprised as well. Gerald, I was surprised as well. I mean, you're getting money out of the box and you should be happy about it. You are complaining about the buttons on ATM. This is sad. Okay, brilliant. Keep going, guys. We have time. We have time. Keep going. What do you think? Technology, what kind of impact it will have? Okay, and we have Zayar who has back. ZR is back. Technology unavoidable. No question about it. Okay, I need to scroll up. Unavoidable. People are going to use it over time. I agree with you, ZR, on that. We don't have a choice to some extent. Today, we might be servicing 50-50 human and, but it's gonna go to 20-80. And what I argue, ZR, it may go to 100%. With technology, AI will cause us not to be emotionally sensitive to other. Oh, that's a good point. Are we emotionally sensitive as much as we were a few years back? That's a very good question, Gerald. It's a very, very good question. I don't know. We have to figure out. Well, it's a very, very good question. Okay, so I think it's 100% is really hard. If anyone from China want to mention that hotel, which is built by what's that big Jack Ma? Jack Ma or no? There's a big company, isn't it, in China? The e-com company. Come on, it has to come to my head. They have built a hotel which is total Taobao, Alibaba, Harish, Alibaba. Alibaba has got a hotel which hasn't got any human at all. Anyone from China wants to tell me where that is? Someone mentioned it in my last class, and I went on website and I looked at it. It was amazing example. Humanless hotel, from everything to everything, even cooking, serving, restaurant. It's Alibaba that has built it. Harish, thank you. Some people will Google it and find out. I can't do that. It's amazing example of totally the whole hotel based from restaurants to menus to cooking. I'm sure there are human behinds monitoring. They are you Fly Zoo Hotel. Here we go. Harish, thank you. Fly Zoo. Go and find out. Okay. So we are going backwards and forward, G, right? Hangzhou city. Hangzhou. 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 I think my pronunciation of Mandarin is, I worked in China 2 years in 2013, 2014 in Hubei. Don't tell anyone. Okay, Harish, thank you. Okay, guys, keep going, keep going. We still have 3 minutes, isn't it, Chuan? There's a lot of discussion happening.
Yes, we still have about 3 minutes.
3 minutes. Thank you, Chuan. Harish, that's. I hope you are not lawyer or you don't belong to a lawyer family. I think those are the people who will be replaced by technology very, very quickly. Sorry. I mean, we are talking about doctors, we're talking about GPs, we're talking about surgeries done by robots already, isn't it? Completely through AI and robots. Harish, don't be sad if you are a lawyer. Okay, I'm gonna keep moving, and I'm teachers may. Oh yeah, that's a good news for us, isn't it? That's a very good news for us. Bear in mind, we are already talking. I'm 16 hours of flight away from you guys. I'm already replaced by a physical presence through technology. Don't forget that, Gerald. Okay, good. Absolutely, absolutely. It's going to another level. I don't know, Jamie, you tell me. I told you a couple of things like wedding ceremonies, probably bereavement services, funeral, as we call them, if you don't understand the word, where people like more human touch, probably the premium services, first class check-in, luxury hotels. I think it will be very, very hard to replace human with technology there. One day, even morality. I don't know. Well, that's a completely different discussion, isn't it, Gerald? Good discussion. It's a relevant discussion, but that's a completely different discussion. So what I have done is we started with some objectives, and I gave you agenda. One thing which I really liked, you all are really, really good. I had fantastic points given by every single of you. And I was expecting that, by the way, which is brilliant. That's really, really good stuff. I mean, we can continue and we can go for another hour, to be honest, on this session, because this is just a taster, right? So what we try to do, in a very, very brief session, honestly, it's a long session, but in this brief session, I tried to give you some points regarding the impact of technology on service provision. Not only giving you the positives, I tried to give you some critique on those points. And we can go home and start thinking about what will be the long-term implications using technology in providing service within operations. And you can send me an email if you come up with any other idea. Feel free to do that. I'll be more than happy to hear from you. That's it for today, guys. We're going to take 5 minutes break while I load up other slides and we go into actual program details, what this program is all about. And if you need to know a little bit more about program. Brilliant. Thank you very much. Keep writing in chat if you want to. I'm staying around while I upload, not upload, I share the other slide deck related to the program. We will be back. I think it's 8:30 your time, isn't it, John? It's 12:30 p.m. in UK, so 8:30 in Singapore. We will be back and we'll talk about programs. I will be talking about programs. Okay, thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ahmad.
Hope you had fun. Hope you liked this. It was thought-provoking session.
Thanks, Mr. Ahmad. So next up, Mr. Ahmad will share more information about the program, Master in Science in Management, offered by University of Birmingham. So we will be starting the session very shortly.
Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing because this is a tricky bit where I have to now close everything and go back to okay, MSc management. Okay, and I'm gonna try to share the program screen now. So I go there and I get participants and I get chat. So you can see the slides, John, the different slides. Yeah, I'm sharing the right screen, right?
Yes, Mr. Ahmad. Yeah, you can see
Okay,
Master of
thank
Science
you.
Management.
Thank you, John. For a change, we have sun in UK. So I don't know, I'm getting a bit of shade. I look like zebra because I've got blind in front of me and sun is shining. Thank you, Chrissy. While you guys are waiting, you can tell me where are you from or anything about yourself. We do have international cohort, people from all over the world, you know, especially South Asia, Asia. They come to Singapore and join the program. So it's always good to know about people. Malaysia, Jamie. Brilliant. Malaysia. Singapore. Gee, local. Okay. Singapore, another Singapore. Vietnam. I would love to have you in class. We had in operations, we do discuss these supply chain management to some extent. And obviously Vietnam is a kind of upcoming country in supply chain. Singapore venture firm in IT administration. And Ziar, my background is in IT as well. For a long, long time, I worked in industry for 18 years. And I was in IT for manufacturing, basically working in operations, but using IT. So okay, IT administrator. That's a fun job, Ziar, isn't it?
Hi, Mr. Ahmad. I think you can start the program sharing right now.
Okay, Chuan, you see, I have to listen to these guys. I can't really go on talking to you guys, but we will have plenty time at the end. Don't worry. Okay, in this part, I'm gonna go into the actual program, and I'm gonna give you some information about the MSc management. Again, feel free to ask any questions if you have any. I will keep an eye on chat box, as well as we will have Q&A session at the end. So this is me again. Like I told you, my name is Ahmad Bhatti. You can call me Ahmad. I don't like people to call me doctor or professor. I'm a program director for MSc Management. My email is again there if you're interested in talking to me more about this session or to find out more about the program. I'm more than happy talk to you guys. Just tell that you are MSc, because I go to many places, teach many students. So just if you mention you're a potential student in Singapore, I will know exactly who you are. And I have put also student inquiry email from SIM. It's a brilliant team, very responsive, brilliant team. So feel free to send them an email if you're interested to find out your if you got any questions about the program or what you need to do next. Briefly, when I started the session, I mentioned that this is redesigned MSc management, and don't think you are guinea pigs. It's not the case, because we have redesigned it for a reason. The world is changing, the business world is changing, and we have to change our programs and deliveries. And programs do change every 3 to 4 years, by the way, regardless. So this is a redesigned MSc management. It's simpler, it's more effective, it's more related to today's business world. And how we have developed it, we looked at the 4 dimensions. We did talk to industry consultants. So we had a conversation with industry consultants. We did talk to alumni of this program, the people who actually went through this program, and we looked at their opinion, what is good, what is bad, what we should change. We had market research. We can't do anything without marketing. We had market research feeding in, and obviously we have expertise at University of Birmingham, UK, um, in form of academics like me and my capable colleagues. So we brought all these 4 things together to redesign the MSc management. What are the key principles of MSc management? We aim in this program, or if you do MSc management, we aim that we will be developing and embedding in-demand technology skills in areas such as digital analysis or blockchain as example. You will see that this new MSc management is a combination of traditional business management as well as upcoming hot topics as well as we go through. We develop mini workshops around creativity and techniques in design thinking, which is another hot topic nowadays in business world, or innovation, developing responsible business values. I think it was Joseph or Jamie who talked about ethical side of it. We do take care of it quite a lot, because business school is an ethical business school, responsible business school, as we call it. So we also always, whenever we talk about any topic, this is quite embedded in this MSc as well. Responsible business values and attributes. We decolonize the curriculum in this MSc, which means that you may have seen that I mentioned few examples from UK, but we try to make it localized. It's not that we completely make it localized, because we want you to be aware of international business and wider global businesses. So we will bring examples from the big companies, but we will also try to bring examples and case studies from local Singapore side. And in terminology of academics, we call it decolonizing the curriculum. We will we will give students opportunities for international mobility. You can't exchange, or you can't go from Singapore to UK for study, but I as a program director have embedded some things where you can work with UK students remotely. So this is another idea or key design principle when we thought about it. That's your 6 modules, which you're going to do in this MSc management. You can see that we start with organizational behavior and leadership. That is HRM module. You will be learning about organizational behavior. Not only that, we will, because we are hoping to develop leaders, we will give you a good kind of time and understanding of leadership and how you lead different teams or organizations. The second module, organizational decision making, is accounting and finance module, which will then link to operations management. I gave you a glimpse of operations management in today's taster session. Then you will do strategy and business environment at the third module. We have full module on sustainable and responsible businesses practices. Like I said, University of Birmingham Business School we are responsible business school, so we have put sustainability is becoming a very, very hot topic in business world as well, because of pandemic and everything what is happening after pandemic. The fifth module is digital business and business analytics. This is where we bring the modern kind of ideas. So you need to be digitally aware of businesses. So fifth module will equip you with that kind of skill set. Crisis resilience and change management, I don't have to say anything about it. We are going through it as we speak it in terms of businesses. So you will have a dedicated module on crisis and resilience, including change management with an organization. And then you will do 40 credit dissertation. I'm going to talk about dissertation a little bit more in depth later on. What's the USP and why you should study MSc management in Singapore? Because we, like I said, we hope that we are developing leaders and managers of tomorrow. It is not a traditional obsolete program. It's a brand new redesigned program. And we have thought about different angles in designing that program. Learning how to lead, manage different types of organizations as well as teams using a context, opportunities to develop and extend your professional network. We're talking about huge number of alumni. I mean, every year there are 35,000 students at University of Birmingham. So you can imagine if university was kind of built 120 years ago or 25 years ago, where we will be in terms of our professional network. You will have access to that professional network, alumni network. The course will, hopefully it will provide you with a diverse range of leadership and management perspective. Not only that, you will be able to develop practical skills and experiences, enabling students to become more responsible leaders in digital era. So it's a mixture of you need to be responsible as well as you need to get on with digital era in the business world. We hope, because we've been talking to industry, we are confident that the program is tailored to match students and industry's interests and expectations together. You will benefit from, like I said, it is research informed. You have seen glimpse of that in the taster session. We talk about cutting edge innovative teaching. I'm going to give you a few examples of that later on, how we assess the program or different modules in the program, informed by industry practice. You will develop your skills in critical thinking, problem solving, teamwork, management, and leadership through practical experiences working within your teammates, your cohort, with students, as well as working with other people like me, academics. You will engage with multinational cohort. We just seen the example of it. Some people from Malaysia, some from Singapore, some will come from India, China, etc., etc. You will work with different backgrounds, which will give you opportunity to understand different cultures. And like I said, in this program, I'm hoping that we'll be able to run some virtual projects across the UOB campuses in UK and Singapore. And I will tell you example of that as well, more detail as we go through the presentation. This program is 1 year full-time program. The intake is, it will start in October 2023. So we have around 7 months, 6-7 months before we start this program. Modules will be delivered intensively over 2 weeks period. So every module will be delivered. We call it block teaching. So you have 6 hours per day teaching for 2 weeks. Then you get 2 weeks off to do your work, complete the module, and move on to the next module. Typically 6 hours per day, face to face, unless otherwise stated. I have to put that in because of pandemic we had. If we don't have any exceptions, all the modules will be face to face. Okay, you are expected to complete 1 or 2. You will not be doing full 2 modules in a month, but it could be there is an overlap and the second module starts at the end of the month. You will be doing that. You are expected to complete 1 or 2 modules monthly. Saturday classes may be there occasionally if there is a problem with a flying faculty. They have some problem arriving, but the way you are timetabled, it is unlikely that you will have class on Saturday, but there may be occasional class on Saturday. But if that is the case, you will be informed well in advance. It's not that we're going to tell you on Friday that there is a class tomorrow on Saturday. Okay. So we will actually develop some graduate skills, as we found out from industry, actually talking to industry through some workshops, industry alumni partnership, because we hope that making use of that, you will be able to develop an agile mindset, flexible mindset, resilience, and personal effectiveness. The above will be achieved, the second point, above will be achieved through activities embedded within the modules. And I will give you some examples, brief examples, very, very quickly on the next slide, probably. Students will be able to showcase the skills and attribute the gain through presentation and stuff like that. So you will be able to present, you will be able to develop and present your skills which you obtained during the program. Business School, Birmingham Business School is Triple Crown accredited from 3 leading bodies, AMBA, EQUEST, and AAC SB. And like I mentioned, that when you do this MSc management, it is accredited by CMI, another very prestigious body in UK. You will get level 7 qualification if you complete this MSc without studying any further in strategic management and leadership practice, because they have accredited the program. On top of that, I aim to offer in this program skills passport, what we call it, where you will be doing some workshops. These are just examples on project management, agile project management, cryptocurrency forecast analysis, which is again, like when I said, that we also take care of what is recent and relevant in business world, product design workshop, creativity and design workshop. We are hoping that these workshops will be a one-day workshop and you'll do 5 workshops. If you complete them, you will get a skill passport, another piece of paper from university, which means that you've done these extracurricular workshops as well. I am aiming that these workshops will run simultaneously in UK and SIM. Now you can imagine we are 8 hours behind Singapore. This is my intention, that we'll find a way that you can work with students in UK somehow on when you're doing these workshops. This is where you work. We say, you will work across campuses. We are still figuring out the details, but we are hoping that we'll be able to run that parallel, and you will get a chance to work with students in UK on MSc management who are doing this program. Why study at MSc management at Birmingham Business School? Not only skill passport, there will be some other workshops which I will embed, and I've included some examples. Some of these workshops will be part of your program. You will have workshops on critical writing. You will have orientation week, which is an induction week, and there will be mock assessment center preparing you for interviews and stuff like that. And we'll have events and dinners and games and other things. You will get dedicated workshop on dissertation, because I know many students, they have very little or no experience on writing dissertation, and that's 40 credit in your program. So we will prepare you for that in this program. There will be workshops embedded in your program as we go through. If you have any questions, please feel free to write them in chat as we're going through them, or you can bank them and ask them at the end. It's entirely up to you. You will get degree from University of Birmingham. It will not mention SIM at all. So your degree will be from University of Birmingham. You will have opportunity to graduate in November at SIM. We have a fantastic graduation ceremony. You can see some pictures from that, or you can defer it and you can choose to graduate. It's not that you will study in UK. Don't get it wrong. Once you completed your program, you can choose to attend the graduation ceremony in UK in July and or December the following year. That is entirely your, but we give you that option that you can attend it. And if you do that, well, I will be probably on both ceremonies actually, but we will meet in UK as well. So you have that option on this program as well. What is the admission criteria on this program? It is designed for bachelor's degree intake. So we don't, you can come from any background in your bachelor as far as your degree is what we call upper second class honors or 2-1 in UK or equivalent. So as an admissions tutor, because I'm doing both things, I'm also admissions tutor as well as program director. So I recruit people and then I take them through the program. I know people are from different countries, different backgrounds in geographical backgrounds. So if you, when you apply, I will be able to assess if you're meeting the criteria or not. So all qualifications will be actually weighed on that whatever bachelor's degree you got, it should be upper second class honors equivalent to UK. There are no exceptions. I will be looking at every case very, very carefully, and I will be as flexible as I can. But the criteria, because it comes from university, there are no exceptions. You have to have minimum that. All applications will be assessed on merit, and it will be at the discretion of approval from University of Birmingham, because that's the university who's actually going to give you the degree at the end of it. The final point is applicants may require to be interviewed. Don't get worried about it. It's only that if you apply to this program and I have time, it is always good to talk to students and find out a little bit more about them. It is not test or formal interview. You don't need to worry about it. It will be a very informal chat with you to see, you know, why you want to do this program and what are your inspirations, kind of thing, just to know a little bit more about you. I would love to do that. That is if we both parties have time. So it may be the case that I say, okay, let's have a brief chat about the program. There are English language requirements on this program, and it is IELTS 7.07 with at least 6.5 in each band. That's the English requirement. You may find that this is slightly higher than other institution. I don't know. I don't have a clue. But the reason it is 7.0 because you have experienced a taster session today, and you can imagine that when we are in classroom, we want to create an environment, a learning environment where everyone can contribute and there is a discussion going on in the classroom, and it's a true learning experience. So that is the reason. But if you don't have IELTS 7 score, or you don't have 6.5 in any other band, there are other options to enter or get onto this program. And at that point, I'm going to hand over to my colleague Chrissy at SIM, who actually understands it way better than I am. How, if your IELTS is not 7, what are your options? So she's going to take you from here to end of the presentation, and then we'll take your questions at the end of it.
Okay, thank you so much, Ahmad. So, I will go through some of the English language requirements here. So, as Ahmad has mentioned, the English requirement to enroll in this program will be IELTS 7.0. All right. However, should you not have this English language requirements yet, not to worry. We actually do offer, we call it the pre-sessional English course. In short, we call it PSEC. All right. So IELTS 7 is actually if you complete and pass PSEC Part 3. All right, should you not have that, not to worry. We also do offer PSEC Part 2 as well. All right, so let's say, for example, look at the middle column. So if your IELTS currently stand at 6.5 with at least 6.0 in each band, so here are some of the various equivalents that we're also looking at, which is like the Cambridge English, TOEFL, Pearson test, so on and so forth. All right, so we do have PSEC Part 2. So once you complete and successfully pass this Part 2, you will then proceed on to Part 3, which when after you complete and you pass, therefore you obtain the IELTS 7.0. Okay. Next slide, Ahmad. Thanks. Okay, so for entry requirements, so for part 2, currently now, if you have 6.0, then you will enter part 2. All right, as mentioned, so these are all the other equivalents that we'll also be looking at. All right, so upon completion part 2, like I mentioned, you get IELTS 6.5 and then you progress to PSEC part 3. And then upon successful completion, you will be able to obtain IELTS 7.0 and then progress to the MSc management program. All right. So for some of the details for this English course, so part 2, we have an intake in May. All right, so part 3 in July. So when you finish part 2 in May, and then you progress to part 3 in July. So the course timetable, you're looking at generally about 6 hours a day, Monday to Friday. All right, so part 2 will start on 16 May all the way to 30th June inclusive. So your first day will begin on 16 May. All right, part 3, same, 18 July to 30th August inclusive. Your first day will be on 18 July. All right, course fee for both part 2 and part 3 will be at 2484. All right, application closing dates are on 17 March for part 2. And then you progress on to part 3 after. Okay, but should you only need the part 3, then will be at the same date on 17 March as well. All right. So the course fee for this MSc management program for local students, it will be as such 30196.80. That's for local applicants. And for international applicants, we're looking at 31752. All right, these fees for both local and international applicants are inclusive of 8% GST. All right, so these fees will also be revised. If you join us in year 2024, you'll be revised with the GST 9%. Okay, so I will bring your attention to the little yellow star on the bottom right corner of this slide. We do have actually now $1,000 Singapore dollars scholarship available. Okay, so if you come and join us, the deadline will be actually 1st April. To be able to qualify for this $1,000 scholarship, it will be 1st April. All right, next slide, please. Okay, so as mentioned, so application deadline, international, both international and local. Firstly, 1st April for international and local 1st of June. Okay, so application fee apply as well for international and local. All right. So application procedure, you do log on to our SIM Global Education website. All right, click on apply now, how to apply, and then we will also guide you through. So some of the documents that you will need on hand during this application will be academic related reference letter with an official company letterhead. All right, we need 2 satisfactory referees. So for certificate and academic transcript, should you have your qualification, you got it from maybe internationally, another country. So do have it translated to English version and certified true copy as well. Okay, for photocopy copies. So for photograph, do have on hand your colored passport size with a white background photograph. Okay, so for identification, for Singaporean and PR, we need your identification card. However, for non-Singaporeans, we need your passport copy. Okay. Okay, thank you very much. If you have any questions, do feel free to type in the chat for both Mr. Ahmad and myself. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ahmad and Chrissy, for the sharing. We will now take questions pertaining to the program Master of Science in Management. So if you have any further questions, just feel free to type in the chat as well. Okay, so we have a question from Daniel. He's checking. His degree is actually fully taught in English. Does he need to also do the English pre-sessional English course?
I can answer that, John. No, Daniel, you won't. You just need to provide an evidence that your bachelor's degree or first degree was taught in English from university, or if they mention it somewhere on the transcript, Daniel, then you don't need any English language requirement to be enrolled to MSc Management. Daniel, you need to be, I can assure you one thing, that the program which we deliver MSc Management in UK and as SIM, it is exactly the same. It is delivered by more or less same individuals who deliver in UK and at SIM, you will not get any opportunity for the exchange program or do some of the modules in UK as well as at SIM, but you can get an opportunity to graduate, attend the graduation ceremony in UK. If I don't answer any questions properly, please do ask me again. Because I can mumble sometime. Yeah, please keep asking questions or share your thoughts, whatever you think.
Hi, Mr. Ahmad. I think we will just hold on for another 1 to 2 minutes. If no further question, I think we can end off the session lah.
We have time, isn't it, though? Well, I don't know, Juan. Yeah, I mean, guys, even if you don't have any question now, you've been through the whole presentation, so feel free to, I've given the email addresses, 2 email addresses, one at SIM and one is my email address. Like I said, if you send me an email, please mention MSc Management Singapore, and I will know who you are because I get emails from all over the world. So, and I don't know you, you are not still student. It is always useful. And I'll be more than happy to help you or answer your questions or even talk to you if you are interested. Any more questions or any other question, any other thing which you think that we could explain further in terms of program or explain differently? I will be more than happy to do that as well. I don't have any issue with that. Okay, I'm gonna make you some. I'm gonna make you do some work. If you are happy, you should write that you are happy, and we don't need to do anything more. So we can close the session on a positive note that you all understand what we are talking about, right? So everyone should write that yes, it's all good. Leave us alone. Okay, Daniel, good to hear that. Okay, I've got thumbs up from Sheni. So
Okay,
we, after talking an hour and a half, we could only kind of satisfy Daniel, right? Is that this is not right? Okay, all right.
okay, thanks everyone for your reply. I think thank
Okay,
you, Mr. Ahmad, once again for the very
thank
engaging
you.
sharing session.
All right, thank you SIM for all your support and help in arranging this session. And I think we can close the session now, right?
Okay, yeah, I will just have one last message for everyone. So I hope everyone enjoyed the masterclass. Thank you for spending your evening with us. And if you have any further questions regarding our programs or masterclass, please feel free to write in to us and also drop us a call at our hotline as well. So I already did that on our chat, so you can have a look as well. So if you want to check out the recordings, you can also do so by copying the link that I sent in the chat as well. Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Mr.
Thank
Ahmad.
you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.